Meet today's challenger. This car is about to launch from 0 to 600 kilometers per hour in an instant. Let's see what happens. First up is the Yamaha bike. The moment it launches to 600 kilometers per hour, everything goes wrong. The rider loses control almost instantly. The bike starts wobbling, and the rider is thrown straight onto the road. But the bike isn't done yet. It keeps sliding at incredible speed before smashing hard into the fence. That was over before it even had a chance to recover. Next up is the Formula car. As soon as it hits 600 kilometers per hour, it completely loses grip and starts spinning out of control. It looks like the run is already over. But somehow, after a few wild spins, the driver regains control. Against all odds, the Formula car survives this insane launch. Here comes the Bugatti Chiron, basically the rich kid of the lineup. It rockets to 600 kilometers per hour and barely even flinches, just a tiny wobble. The rear tires start throwing a little tantrum, and for a second, it looks like it's about to lose it. But nope, it pulls off one clean 360-degree spin like it's showing off for the cameras, then stops perfectly. That wasn't a crash, that was pure style. Here comes the Lamborghini Aventador, looking fast, expensive, and full of confidence. It hits 600 kilometers per hour, then instantly forgets how to turn. The brakes don't help, the steering waves goodbye, and it's heading straight for the fence. Bam! The front and back fold together like the car just tried to close itself. Congratulations, Lamborghini. Now we've got the Wonder Scooty, and honestly, this thing has no business attempting 600 kilometers per hour. The instant it launches, both riders get an express ticket straight to the pavement. Meanwhile, the Scooty is like, "Good luck, guys, I'm out!" It keeps sliding across the road on its side like it's trying to break the world's longest drift record. And somehow, after all that chaos, it actually survives. The riders lost the challenge, but the Scooty refused to give up. Next up is the electric SUV. It launches to 600 kilometers per hour and starts with a tiny wobble. Nothing too scary, but then the brakes decide they're just decorative. It scrapes the side fence, gets thrown completely sideways, and then, wham! It slams broadside into the main fence. That hit was so brutal, even the suspension gave up. Here comes the BMW M5. It rockets up to 600 kilometers per hour and stays perfectly straight, which sounds great until you remember the brakes don't work. Boom! The impact is so insane that the car ends up hanging on top of the fence like someone just put it out to dry. Congratulations, BMW! You've officially become the world's fastest piece of laundry! Here comes the delivery truck. At 600 km/h, it's still driving like it's actually going to deliver the package. It keeps charging down the road, somehow holding it together. And you're almost thinking, wait, is it actually gonna make it? Nope! Boom! It slams into the fence! The front flies off for a swimming lesson, while the rest of the truck decides to become a barbecue. A tiny fire turns into a full-on fireworks show. I don't think that... Now this car came prepared. The moment it hits 600 kilometers per hour, the brakes lock up and it starts spinning like it's auditioning for the Olympics. One full spin, two full spins. Then, it gives the side fence a little love tap before coming to a clean stop. Somehow, the driver walks away with a 100% survival chance. The only bad news? The radiator sacrificed itself to save the rest of the car. Talk about a... Alright, it's McLaren's turn, and this thing rolled up with main character energy. The second it hits 600 kilometers per hour, everyone expects another disaster. But the McLaren is like, relax, amateurs, I've got this. It does one tiny little wiggle, spins just enough to remind everyone who's boss, and then parks itself. Who invited this tiny cart? It hits 600 km/h and suddenly those extra tires start working overtime. Instead of becoming today's crash test dummy, it hops onto the grass and somehow survives. Bugatti and McLaren are still laughing, but this little guy definitely earned some respect. Here comes the Defender. It hits 600 km/h like a champion. Then the rear window says, "I'm out!" It keeps going straight, slams into the fence, and both rear tires literally clock out of their job. Then the Defender takes one final dive into the river and disappears forever. Bro unlocked the underwater parking achievement. Now it's the bus's turn. It reaches 600 km/h and instantly says, "Road? Nah, grass looks better." It launches into the air like it thinks it's an airplane. But gravity quickly reminds it, who's boss? Boom! It smashes into the fence and gets stuck there like someone hammered a giant steel nail into the ground. Next up, the Rolls-Royce. It reaches 600 km/h and decides the grass is the VIP lane. It starts wobbling, slides completely out of control, and bang, right into the fence. Just like the bus, it ends up hanging there like a giant nail. Luxury? Gone. Dignity? Also gone. Here's the BMW E34. It hits 600 km/h, takes a quick trip across the grass, starts bouncing around like it drank 10 energy drinks, and bam, straight into the fence. Then it just hangs there like someone's forgotten sock on a clothesline. BMW really said, "I'm done for today." Now the JCB enters the challenge and instantly regrets it. At 600 km/h, it spins twice like it's showing off. Then boom, it hits the fence so hard it splits into two pieces. One half gets promoted to permanent fence decoration, while the other half says, "See you later," and goes for a swim. If you enjoyed watching these insane 600 km/h crashes, smash that like button like those fences. Subscribe for more crazy Beam and challenges every week, and tell me in the comments which vehicle surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Destruction Challenge.